All right, we're ready to start the next section with Grimmick Coaching. Now this one is how to locate properties. This is always the one where everybody wants to jump out as soon as they receive their student workbook. It's like, let's go look at properties. And I say, no, let's not go look at property, because there is a process that we do things around here. First thing we do is find out, do you adhere to the mindset? Do you believe in what we do? And how do we set a business plan up for you? The next thing is we have to have a business structure. So when we purchase the properties over a long period of time, you're not liable and put yourself at risk. And the third thing is we have to have money. Before we go driving around looking at all these pretty properties, I want to make sure that you can actually purchase them. So that is why it comes at this moment in time. But we're here now, how to locate properties. So there's numerous ways that people choose to do and look for properties. The only thing that matters is that when you're ready for the property and you need to rehab it, it's there. So you have to set up all kind of criteria, what you're looking for, what do you like to rehab, what type of property best works within your system, and then you go out looking for that product. Just like any other person, any other time. Now the people that find it best at this are females typically, because it's just like a shoe hunt. When they go looking for shoes, there's no limit to the amount of stores they will search and look for shoes, and no number of shoes that they will try on, even though the closet is already full. So you need to have a mindset of a lady looking for that right pair of shoes when you go out looking for a property. Now when you go looking for the property, you've got certain things in mind that you're looking for. Now we've covered those a little bit in the last time, but now you go out looking for that property. Remember, there's lots of places that you can locate these properties. So we're going to take some. As all coaching systems tell you, go to your local real estate investors association, normally called REIAs. It's a wealth of information and a place that you can find and locate lots of properties. You're going to be able to find it from the wholesalers there. They love new people. They're going to be the ones that are purchasing property that have the intention of just getting it out to someone else. There are going to be real estate agents there, and typically you're going to want to be associated with the REO agent. They're going to be the ones who not necessarily drive people around to look at pretty houses, but they deal with investors primarily. They're going to be there, always in the room. Grab their cards. There are going to be people from title companies there. Usually they sponsor the meeting. They are going to be the ones that will know who are all the cash buyers in your town, what areas are the hottest, where is the most action coming from. Take these people out to lunch, spend a little time, spend a little money with them, pick their brain. There's always going to be a hard money lender there too. Hard money lenders are great. They're going to tell you what areas are happening, what areas aren't happening, how much they'll lend, what is safe areas, how much people are profiting on their deals. Another great investor to meet. People that you always find is general contractors. General contractors, you're going to want to know those as well, because you're going to need to have general contractors to help you put the properties back in order. And they're also going to let you know how fast you can turn properties and what areas most people are doing business in. And other students like yourself, other people who are just fresh into rehabbing and renovating. There's always someone who will bring a deal to the table who really doesn't know that it's a deal. You can partner up with them. And if not partnering up in the beginning, just go out on their job sites, see where they're actually at and where they're purchasing and what phase of the game they're in. But it's just a good idea to join a local REIA. Normally you can do that for $100, $150 and you're in. And it's for a whole year. They usually bring in a great speaker who will talk about some of the aspects and reinforce some of the things that you're learning in your coaching program. So the number one place I would definitely recommend to go is your local REIA to get experience and meet good contacts for where you're going to be looking. Now, the next thing is going to determine whether you're going to go with MLS listed or non-MLS listed. Now, when I say MLS, it's multiple listing agency that most realtors are a part of. That is a list of all of the properties that people have for sale that they've had a contract relationship with an agent that puts it on a big bulletin board, which allows you to scan through, and most Realtor.com I think kind of tags into that now, and all of the things are all online. The problem with that here in our local market is that hedge funds have moved in and you've got a tremendous amount of competition with other investors. And it's generally not the place that I look at for properties. It's good to, you can put yourself on a mailing list with some of the agents that are at the RIA, and they'll send you out properties automatically that meet a certain criteria that you have established already for them, be it a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, under X number of dollars, with a profit margin of $20,000. So you set those parameters, and when it comes up, it automatically emails you that list of houses, and then you would make an appointment with the realtor and set a time to go visit the property and walk through it. So that's one aspect that you can use for the multiple listing association with using realtors. And you want to pick a realtor in your local area who is maybe not the top sales agent in the office, because the top sales agent is busy. You might want to go with the second and third top real estate agent because they always want to be number one. So they're a little hungrier. They're willing to work with you a little more. Someone that you need to pull comps through. You're going to need you're going to need a person who can get you in and out of houses that have the lockbox that need the Supra and access. The days of where they just give you the code and say go in are over. Liability issues. So when you choose a property with MLS listing, you're going to need an agent to go with that. Now on the non-MLS side, that opens up a tremendous amount of ways that you can get properties. The one that I use the most prevalent is a wholesaler. I have a ton of wholesalers and contacts in St. Louis. What you want to do is make yourself available to the wholesalers. Take them out to lunch. Get to know them. Constantly call them, maybe once a week or once every other week. Make sure that your name stays plastered on the top of their list as a person who will buy. And as well, let them know that you're qualified to purchase properties. No one wants to call you if you can't buy a property. And you have to be able to purchase quickly. And you have to know what a deal is. If they constantly call you with deals and you go and look at them, you go, oh, that's not a deal, because you either didn't know how to figure the rehab, or you didn't know what the up end or the selling price is, they're going to stop sending you leads. And the whole deal is you want them to feed you leads so that you're not out spending all day long looking for properties. Now, the wholesaler is the #1 way that I find properties. Other situations you can look at are to have your own bird dog. Now, a bird dog is a person that you've trained on what properties you look for, and then you send them out in a specific area with boundaries that you want them to drive the neighborhood, either find for sale by owner properties, or they're finding high grass properties, and they're going to find contacts and leads that will put you in touch with the owner of those properties. Now, another situation, the way you can do it, is simply drive the market yourself. It's real easy. When we were young, I had my kids, they could spot a vacant house miles away. It was kind of like the game. You know, some people play the alphabet game. We played the find the profitable house game, where when you saw a property that had newspapers all built up on it, or high grass, or when it would snow and nobody had cleaned off the driveway yet, we knew those were choice houses that we began to write down the address and go back and look up those owners and send a letter to them saying, I'm interested in purchasing your property. The other way, obviously, is use the yellow letter campaign, or any type of campaign where you get lists of property owners, out-of-state property owners, cash property owners, people who are behind on taxes. There's numerous lists that you can purchase and send out to people with your fancy letter that says, hey, I'm interested in purchasing your property. And if they respond to you, then you go out and put the house under contract and purchase it. Other ways nowadays, online, Craigslist are a great way to find people who are listing properties. A reverse search, where you may call rental properties that are up for rent and ask an owner, may be frustrated and tired and want to sell a property that you could either rehab or hold long term. Other situations are find property managers. Call property managers who may be managing for people outside of the state that you're in, who are lovely and ready to get rid of that property that's just causing them so much pain and problems, or they are just simply getting out of the game. You know, they're cashing out of their real estate holdings and they just need to sell the properties. Generally, you can find a good deal there because the individual has already milked the process and they have as much income as they need, and now they're trying to sell the property and let a new person have a chance of getting it started in the real estate business. So those are just a few of the ways that you can get properties. But the key is you're going to have to designate an amount of time each week that you're going to go out into the market either yourself, or you're going to follow up with properties, you're going to follow up with agents, you're going to constantly be looking at properties and know your market. You have to begin to know and understand your market. What are houses selling for? How many days are they on market? What's the rehab look like? Visit those houses. Go to open houses. Begin to see what you need to develop and purchase, and the profit margins, and what people are actually doing in the market that you intend to be successful in. It does take time, but if you're willing to invest a little bit each week, you will see success at the end of the rainbow. Thank you, and that is our aspect on how to locate the properties that will make you the big money.